Have you ever gone to a business conference and then gone back to living your life and basically forgotten everything that you did at that conference? These are my top tips to get the most out of your business conference. Tip number 1, drink lots of water. I was talking to a trainer that I trust a great deal. He was sharing with me part of the reason why I was so tired after my flight is because we actually perspire at a rate 25% faster when we're at altitude. And especially when you go to a city that's at a higher altitude than you're at, drink more water than you normally would, and make sure that you get lots of electrolytes so that you don't get dehydrated and have that kind of rundown feeling as soon as you get to your event. Tip number 2, no alcohol the night that you get into town. It's very tempting when you fly in to go to that reception in advance of the event. I can tell you that just leads to kind of a disaster scenario. What we know is that drinking kind of scrambles your memory. It also dehydrates you and make you tired. And then in addition, that's after a long day of flight where you've been in the plane. Get into your room, maybe go get some body work, make sure that you're well hydrated, have a nice dinner, get a great night of sleep, and then you will have a great day at your event. Tip number 3, make sure that you pack some snacks. That sounds really corny, but I got caught in the layover recently. There was a delay for fog, so I ended up stuck in a plane, wasn't able to get breakfast, got to lunch, and then I was just in a scramble to get whatever available. Pack a couple Cliff Bars into your bag, apple, banana, you can get things through security. Have a few things on hand so that your blood sugar doesn't go down, and then you'll know you'll be at the top of your game and you're making sure that you're not hitting that cookie buffet. Tip number 4, don't do business before the event, unless of course it's in the afternoon. If you have a 9 o'clock start, the last thing you want to do is head into a day of learning with a huge weight of some weird stressful situation that's going to come at you 5 minutes before the event. Go to Do Not Disturb, change your voicemail. Your voicemail should say something like, hey, this is Dustin from the Oldfather Group. Thank you so much for your call. I'm traveling to a business conference to improve our service. Please leave a message. I'll be checking messages on my break and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. That way they know that you're busy, you're doing things to improve your service for them. If something weird's coming up, it's still going to be weird at 12 o'clock or at 4 o'clock when you check your email. Tip number 5, take written notes. What we know is that the brain processes and retains information more when you take handwritten notes. I was recently at an event and everybody was clacking on their keyboards. And first of all, it's annoying. Second of all, you don't retain as much. And then once you process it, it gets lost. It's not a place that you can go reference it. If you can have multiple colors, that's great. If you absolutely have to use an iPad, use an app like Notability where you can draw pictures, you can write in your notes, and then you can do a combination from there so that your mind takes the most out of the event. Tip number 6, when you get to the end of your event, create just a few action items and projects from the notes that you've taken. It's very tempting. I've left many a conference with 3 pages worth of action items. It's overwhelming, it wears you out, it's too much psychic load, and then when you try to share it with somebody, all it does is make everybody's head spin. So distill it down, find 3, no more than 4 or 5 things that you absolutely want to take away from that conference and apply, and then you'll get the most out of the time that you invested. Tip number 7, thank the hosts and the speakers at the event. Speakers put so much into the time that they spend on stage. The one thing that they want to hear is acknowledgement and validation. They want to know that you got something out of it. Most speakers, while they seem aloof, are just really nervous. Not nervous, anxious is a better word. They love to have feedback, make a connection. I can't tell you how many times spending a few minutes with a really high-level speaker who's got influence has helped us in the future as a resource or somebody that we were comfortable reaching out to that was significantly higher than where we were at. Great way to get connected and to get more out of your event is to follow up and say thank you. If you meet with them or you don't meet with them, send them a quick message through Facebook or through Instagram. Try to get connected there and then build those relationships for your future benefit. Tip number 9, process your notes as quickly as you can after the event. When you go to a business event, obviously you're going to be taking notes. You're going to have lots of ideas, lots of things that you're thinking. It's tempting to want to finish the event and to move on. I have a friend who says if you don't book a day after the trip for a business conference, you shouldn't even go. Reason being is you need time to process the work that you've done mentally to figure out what you want to do with the information that you've gotten. I use Evernote as a place where after every event, I take the notes that I've written, I process them, I get them in writing. It allows me to organize them and organize my thought. And then in the future, when I need to refer back to it, Evernote is a software platform that allows you to search all of your notes. I can't tell you how many times I've gone back after the fact. I'm like, oh man, I forgot about that happened in Tennessee, back in 2017. I can go back to my notes. I have that. I can bring it up, and I get the most out of that value. Tip number 10: after you've processed your notes and you've made your decisions on the projects and the action items that you want to take, go have fun. Go out and mingle. There's usually a dinner or a happy hour or a gathering after a large business event. That's the time to go out, make some friends, be yourself, know that you've gotten everything that you need to get out of the event and you're ready to turn the page. You're not going to mess yourself up. Go have fun. If you want to have a drink. You'll leave there with the best and most impactful action items and projects that are going to move your business forward.